Good morning, everyone, or afternoon or evening, wherever you are on planet Earth. I'm going to be hanging out with you for about 30 minutes. Feel like I haven't done this in a while. I don't think I've done this for a couple weeks, right? I haven't done a live stream for a while. I went on my my annual trip with my buddies a couple weeks ago. It's always a good time. We always rent a cabin. It's an 18-year tradition. All 7 of us typically go up to the North Georgia mountains and rent a cabin, and we just get a bunch of beer. And lately we've been renting a cabin with a pool, and it's always a different cabin, but it's always a good time. But here I am. Hope you're doing well. I was going to hop on here and make a quick video about the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer, but I don't know, man. I'm just not in the mood to make a video right now, so I figured I'd just shoot the shit with you guys and talk about whatever you want to talk about. But anyway, welcome. Ricky, Cameron, Oscar Baggins, Sapity, Red 6 Down, Webinator, Callum, Crazy Jedi, Spencer, welcome, guys. What's on your mind? Let's shoot the shit. Not much Star Wars news to talk about, which is kind of refreshing. Spencer. Yeah, the Mandalorian. Can you guys hear me okay? My microphone, my levels are like super high. Let me turn it down a little bit. Anyway, the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer came out. I watched it once. I'm just not all that excited for it, honestly. Like, I didn't really care for the only Mandalorian season I really liked was the first one. But I don't know. We'll see. I'll make a video about it soon. I just wasn't in the mood today. But I'm just kind of in the mood to, well, I got some chores to do around the house, but after that I'll probably just sit around until I have to pick up the kid from school. Yesterday I had big ambitions to like make a video about Goosebump books and stuff like that, just because I was feeling a little nostalgic. I have all my Goosebump books from my childhood, so I was working on a video, or I planned on working on a video yesterday. But the shift, I got home at like 9 in the morning yesterday from my shift, and we had 5 calls after midnight, and I didn't sleep a wink, and so I came home and just took a 4-hour nap before I had to pick the kid up from school. So those ambitions went out the window. And I'm not very ambitious today to do video stuff. I just got back from the dog park with the puppy. We walked up there, spent a while up there, and just kind of felt like plopping in this chair and vegging out. But that's what I'm doing. Anyway. Remember when people expected or excited for Star Wars trailers? Baggins, what's up, Baggins? Yeah, it just feels like, I mean, I think the biggest thing, Baggins, is it's the saturation of it. I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing. You know, it's just the saturation of Star Wars now. There's so many shows. You know, we just got done with movies. I mean, we haven't had a Star Wars movie in the theater since 2019. But you know, back in the day, it was kind of a big event when something new was a new Star Wars movie was coming out or something like that, right? But now it's just that trailer came out and I didn't even know about it for 24 hours. Like, nobody even messaged me about it. Nobody, like back in the day when a new Star Wars trailer came out, holy shit, everybody would message me. I would get texts about the trailer. And then the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer came out and I literally did not hear about it for 24 hours. So I just think people's like excitement level on as a whole, you know, isn't through the roof like it used to be, just because of that saturation. I mean, when a new trailer would release, I feel like the news would talk, like the Today Show would be like, "Oh my God, did you see? There's a new trailer," and then they'd talk about it and stuff. But like, it's just not like that nowadays, and I think it is because of that saturation. You know, Star Wars used to be a big event. It was a thing that was coming. We would all get super excited for it and just devour every single piece of news and everything. But maybe it's just me, but my excitement level has dwindled significantly. And maybe that's just a factor of, you know, getting older, family, life, career, and all that. I don't have as much time to pay attention to it, or maybe it's just the burnout of it. I don't know. Feel like Starfighter will be a bigger deal. I agree, Cameron. I am way more excited for Starfighter than Mandalorian and Grogu. Yeah, we'll see. Also, you know, Ryan Gosling's attached to it, so I'm sure they'll do a lot more media, and the excitement will be greater. But yeah, we'll see. What's your musical taste look like, Sean? I listen to, it's easier for me to give you some bands than just tell you a genre, because that's a little wonky. I like bands like I grew up listening to a lot of like Seeger and Beatles and a lot of Motown as well, just because of my dad. But and then I grew up listening to a lot of punk, like Black Flag, Dead Kennedys. I had like a big anti-flag phase. What else? I listened to a lot of like Rancid was huge for me back in the day. And then I kind of started to get into, in 1999, American Football released an album, and that just kind of sent me down this other path of the music that I like today. American Football, that initial album that they came out with in 99 is an all-time favorite. I love a band called Limbeck. Some more modern bands are Slaughter Beach Dog, Pine Grove. Let's see. I like Josh Ritter. Cymbals Eat Guitars, Ryan Adams. Algernon Cadwallader. I don't know if it's a silly name, and they're kind of silly, but they're fun. Bright Eyes. My Morning Jacket. Owen. I've just pulled up my phone, so I'm looking at my bunch of my playlists. Dogs on Acid, Ducks Limited, MJ Linderman. I always go back to like 90s alternative, like Archers of Loaf, and Space Hog, stuff like that. Morgan Nagler has a really fun song. It's called Orange Wine. It's a really fun song. Corey Hansen has a good new album out. Rat Boys. I'm just throwing out bands. The Bully, the Beths, Middle Kids. I'm just throwing out a bunch of bands that I listen to these days. But anyway. Yeah, I like this time of the year. What's up, Mr. St. Jake? This time of the year, I do always like go back to '90s alternative for whatever reason. Like when the weather starts cooling down, I think it's like hits me with a jolt of nostalgia. I was born in '86, so I grew up in the '90s pretty much. So I listen to like a lot of Smashing Pumpkins when the weather cools down, or I just revert back to like I don't know, Silverchair, shit like that. That I grew up listening to a lot. I appreciate that, Baruchzo.
But it's also a victim of the oversaturation. Also, this is a post-Andor world, and Andor has become a litmus test for future SW shows. Unfairly so.
Oscar, thank you so much for the generous super chat. First super chat of the stream. And channel support this morning, man. Oscar says, Mandalorian Grogu does look more like a TV movie than an event, but it's also a victim of the oversaturation. Also, this is a post-Andor world, and Andor has become a litmus test for future Star Wars shows, unfairly so. I agree, unfairly so. I love Andor. It has I will say this. It has kind of ruined my hype for future Star Wars projects because I just feel like nothing will capture me like Andor did. But anyway, but you're right. Oh, sorry. Everything is going to be unfairly judged by the quality of Andor, and not everything needs to be that deep, that dramatic. That most Star Wars stuff will not. But you're right. To me, it does look like a TV movie. Maybe that's just we're used to these characters on, our small screen. But it doesn't. I think a lot of it boils down to me not really being a fan of Dave Filoni's. I don't know his overall. You look at all the shows that he's produced, directed, written on Disney Plus, and most of them have just been not for me. That's the kindest way to say it. That's really the only way to say it, right? They're just not for me. There's no reason to get upset or make 1,000 videos about what you don't like, but they're just not for me. So knowing that this is going to be another one of his projects, knowing that I didn't really care for the other seasons of The Mandalorian other than the first one, I am very hopeful. I hope it's just a fun frolic through the Star Wars universe with these two characters. But my like excitement level is not very high. I will go see it in the theater. I'm curious if my daughter is going to be old enough to go see it. It comes out next year in May, right? Am I correct in saying that? She will, by that time, she'll be 8 years old. Now, I grew up watching man, I watched Star Wars for the first time probably when I was like 3 or 4 years old. I grew up watching like Alien when I was like her age. I watched Alien, Indiana Jones when I was her age. I remember watching Candyman when I was like 8 or 9 years old with a friend of mine, and he had to go home. So me saying, I wonder if she's going to be old enough for Mandalorian and Grogu is kind of silly and a little hypocritical. But yeah, we'll see. I'd love to take her to it, but yeah, we'll see. But anyway, yeah, Oscar, I think my like lack of super excitement for it is, maybe it's just my own problem, kind of just so busy I can't pay attention to anything, and I really can't get that excited for many Star Wars projects these days because my attention is just pulled in so many different directions, Or also it's a factor of just the oversaturation. Oh, another Star Wars thing coming out, But yeah. Speaking of movies, me and my dad went and saw the 30th anniversary of Apollo 13. I saw that it was being re-released in the theaters. I saw like a Facebook advertisement. I was like, no shit. Apollo 13 30th anniversary. I saw it was advertised, and I bought tickets immediately for me and my dad. And we went and saw it in IMAX, and it was a pretty cool experience. That Apollo 13 is in my probably top 5 favorite movies of all time. I'm a huge fan of, I'm a big space enthusiast, astronomy enthusiast, space exploration enthusiast. So much of my brain is taken up by minor details from the Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo missions. It's always been kind of top tier for me. But it was really cool to see it on IMAX. The theater obviously was huge, but I was kind of bummed. Like, I knew that there weren't going to be very many people there in the morning on a weekday to see Apollo 13, right? But there were maybe, counting me and my dad, there were probably maybe 8 people max in this giant ass theater. And it kind of bummed me out because, when you go to, you think of one of your favorite movies of all time, how much it impacted your life. You're like, oh my God, it would be incredible to see this with a packed house. Do these people not understand how brilliant and important this movie is? And then you get there and there's 6 other people other than you and your dad in a giant IMAX movie theater, Yeah, it wasn't 3D, which was good. I wouldn't want to see it in 3D, but anyway. Yeah, Apollo 13, Callum, is, like I said, it's like in my top 5 movies of all time. And it's one of those movies that I probably watch in passing, no joke, at least 10 times a year. It is my go-to, like, I'm going to sweep, mop, do the dishes, fold a bunch of laundry and dust everything downstairs kind of movie. Like, I've seen it so many times just because Apollo 13, hell yeah, hit play. And then it's just kind of in the background and, I'll glance over at it a few times. It's my, like, doing shit around the house movie, But yeah. But the movie was supposed to start. My ticket said 12:15. 12:15. We walk into the theater. It is completely dark. They have 0 lights on in the theater. We're like, what the hell? So, we just kind of wait out in the lobby a little bit. We go back in, still completely dark. And as we're checking it, the lights don't come on, but the screen comes on and starts showing advertisements, like commercials. Probably like 15 minutes later, so it's probably 12:30, all right? 12:30 rolls around, they finally get the screen on, boom. No lights, though, so, like, it just weird. We're just sitting there, the two of us, 12:30. They start showing all the commercials, Coke, local, dentist's office. Advertisements for 10 different advertisements. And then it just keeps replaying. And then they start the previews. And then they start the commercials over again. So it went commercials for like probably 10 minutes, previews for 10 minutes, commercials for 10 minutes. The goddamn movie didn't start until like 1:05. We got there at like 12 o'clock. To just go get popcorn, take a piss, hang out, and then expect the movie to start at 12:15. Because why are they going to show previews before Apollo 13? I guess I didn't think about it. But then we sit down at like 12:30 after being there for 30 minutes already, and then the movie doesn't start for another 35 or 40 minutes. And we were just sitting there like, what the fuck? How many times are we going to see this same commercial on repeat? Did somebody forget they're showing Apollo 13 in this theater? It was crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, that's my rant. There's too much shit. I don't know if somebody messed up and they forgot to show it, but like, that was the first experience where I was like, golly, just get to it, man. But yeah, anyway. Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support once again, man. Oscar Rodriguez says, rumor has it that Xbox next console will let players connect their Steam accounts to their console, letting them play their Steam libraries natively. Really? That would be very interesting. I mean, there's no partnership between Steam and and Microsoft, right? And between Valve and Microsoft, right? Not that I know of, unless I missed some major news. I mean, that would be kind of crazy. That'd be pretty neat. I would enjoy that. That would honestly, dude, that would honestly make me buy an Xbox console. Like, legitimately, that would be a reason for me to buy an Xbox console. I never play console games. I never play console games just because... Well, I really don't know. But if I maybe it's because I do have an extensive Steam library. I have a beefy PC, you know, a super modern PC, and I don't really have a desire to get a console. But like, if I was able to access every game on my Steam account, to be able to play it downstairs in my living room and just veg out on the couch, that would be enough to I think make me buy a new Xbox console. But I highly doubt that'll be the case. I'd be very surprised. The Xbox app on PC is synced with my Steam library, which is interesting. Oh, really? Huh. Sounds like... What's up, William? The next Xbox won't be a console, it will be a mini PC. It sounds like the next Xbox is going to just be a PC. I mean, well, yeah, I mean, I guess... They basically are, right? I mean, they got everything that a PC has. They basically are mini PCs, but I don't really, I mean, yeah. I do still have my Steam Link. Anybody remember Steam Link? I don't know when they stopped making that. But I used to use that quite a bit. Like, if there was a game that I would rather play just kind of like plopped on the couch, vegging out, you know? I would use my Steam Link and stream it downstairs and just, it was neat. It was a cool little thing. I don't know why they went away from it. Because it's a great idea. But yeah, anyway. I appreciate that, Oscar. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Callum, buddy, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Callum says that... Oh, one sec.
I think the older I get, the less hype I feel about anything nowadays.
Yeah, you're right,
But
Saint.
I will say
Mr.
I did
Jake.
get a little excited seeing the Mando trailer. New adventures, new stories, and maybe new characters.
I get that, Mr. St. J. Give me one sec, man. Give me one sec. Yeah, that's a fun. Yeah, I'll talk about that. Callum, thank you so much, man. That's like my dad with 2001: A Space Odyssey. He does housework and he'll put it on or blast Dark Side of the Moon. There you go. Yeah, I get it. We all have our things. Like, I used to listen to. I mean, I go through phases, right? Sometimes there might be a podcast I want to listen to, or something like that. Sometimes I'll just want to blast music while I do stuff around the house. That's usually when... it's funny how I associate, like, cold weather with things I like to do. I don't know why. Maybe it's living in Florida, you know, when it's 105 fucking degrees outside for 9 months out of the year. You just... there's not much you like doing. But, you know... When I like to do stuff around the house and blast music is when it's cold outside. I open all the windows, get a good chill in the house, and I'll just like blast music, and I'll mop the floors and I'll do the dishes. I'll just do a bunch of housework. I don't know why. I love that. I love it. It's just like repetitive motion with music, and I have a hard time sitting still in general in life. I always have to be moving. The guys at the fire station will constantly say, like, this son of a bitch can't stop moving, because I always have to have something in my hand and I always have to be doing something. I think it drives my wife crazy, but hey, I constantly got to be on the move. But yeah, I have a few movies like that, Callum. You know, Apollo 13, I'll just pop on. 127 Hours is one of those movies too. First Man has become one of those, you know, doing stuff around the house movies where I just pop it on. I love it so much. Clerks is another one. I might even pop that. I'm in a Clerks mood right now. I might pop that on when I go downstairs to do some stuff around the house after this stream. But yeah, man. I haven't seen 2001 in a very long time. It's probably been over a decade, to tell you the truth. Yeah, it's probably been over a decade. But I used to have. I'll have to find a picture of it. I used to have a. Some of you guys might even remember it if you've been around the channel long enough. So when I started this channel in 2011, I started it right after I got back from a deployment. I got back from a deployment. I got out of the Navy after 4 years, and I was bumming around the house bored, and I decided to just start a YouTube channel. And me and my wife were living in like a little condo at the time, and I had my own little computer office. And in that office, I had a floor to ceiling 8-foot tall 2001 A Space Odyssey poster. Like the size that they would put in a movie theater, like hanging on, super high. Giant ass movie poster of 2001. I'm sure I have pictures of my old office back then, but yeah, I also have, so I have that giant ass poster. I also have a Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead giant ass 8-foot poster too, that my buddy bought me, or maybe he acquired it from a movie theater. I don't know how he got it, but he got it for me somehow. Probably it's probably been 20 years. He probably got it. I can remember because I had it when I first went to college around 2005. I didn't last very long there. I was not in the mood for it. It was not for me. But I remember having that giant Dawn of the Dead poster that my buddy got me in 2005. So it might be older than 20 years. That's crazy to me. It's in the attic right now. I know right where it is. But yeah, anyway. Mr. St. Jake, cheers. I appreciate that, man. Mr. St. Jake says, beer fund. Thank you so much. We're actually going to dinner tonight, and I'm excited. We're going to a Mexican restaurant, so I'll put that to use, man. We go out to eat once a week, and tonight we're going to get some Mexican food. And I will. It might, Mr. Jake. They have really good margaritas. I'm gonna put it towards a jalapeno margarita if you don't mind. But cheers, man. I actually have to work. I'm pulling a double, so I work Saturday and Sunday. It worked. So give me one sec. I'm just gonna explain this real quick. I have to work Saturday and Sunday. I work 24-hour shifts. So typically, I would just have to work tomorrow, Saturday. And then I would be off Sunday and Monday, and I would work Tuesday. That's typically how my shift, my schedule goes. That's how most fire service, or most fire departments go. But I did what's called a swap with one of my buddies. So I said, hey man, will you work for me on this day around Thanksgiving? And then you pick a day for me to work for you. So he asked me if I would work this Sunday. I said, yep. So then he's working for me around Thanksgiving. And, it's just kind of a one-for-one swap. That way you get, like, a bunch of days off in a row. It's really nice and convenient. What sucks is that you're gone for 48 hours from your family. You don't sleep much. But it's worth it because you get so much time off when, they pay you back. So that's why I have to work a double 48-hour shift tomorrow and Sunday. So it's all good though. I actually did another swap with somebody. So I have 2 days off around Thanksgiving, which means that I have, let's see, I have like, I'll have like 10 days off around Thanksgiving. We're actually renting a cabin with my wife's family. So it'll be all worth it to do all these shift swaps and stuff like that, to have like 10 days off around Thanksgiving, So anyway. Mr. St. Jinx says, I think the older I get, the less hype I feel about anything nowadays. But I will say I did get a little excited seeing the Mando trailer. New adventures, new stories, and maybe new characters. Yeah, I agree. The thing that got me a little excited was the music. Like, I mean, we all know the Mandalorian music. The music hit, and that's what kind of, got me pulled me in a little bit. The trailer overall didn't do much for me. I thought it was a little boring, the trailer. But the music is really what kind of pulled me in a little bit, obviously, as it gets closer and closer and closer, I'll get excited for it, especially if my daughter wants to see it. I think it'll be fun for the three of us to go see it together. She watched Skeleton Crew. She got excited for Skeleton Crew every episode when it came out. So I think, you know, if she could watch Skeleton Crew at her age 7, you know, I don't think The Mandalorian will be any crazy. The Mandalorian and Grogu is going to be any crazier than Skeleton Crew. But yeah, I feel the same way, Mr. St. Jake, about the older you get, the less hype you feel about anything. I don't know if that's... Is that universal? Are there any other people that... How old are you? I think you're a little older than me. I'm 39. I'll be 40 in... What? Oh, May. In May. Okay. I was going to say 4 months. I was way off. But yeah. So, I don't know if that's like a universal thing with people as they get older. Their excitement level for certain things dwindle. In life, I guess. 52? Okay. Yeah. I'm kind of... I feel the same way. Like, I just like... I told my dad the other day when we were driving back from Disney. We were just talking about, like, the state of the world and just... people believe in dumb shit, and I was just like, yeah, I just really don't like the world right now. And I think that just general bummer sense of things, that funk sense of just things. I don't really I try not to pay attention to too much, because what do I can't control anything. Is that most things are out of your control, but like just the general funk of the state of the world and whatnot, and you go on social media and it's not real life, you know. It's just like you talk to people in real life and things are fine, and you're, you know, but like it just seems like everything is at each other's throat and just constant chaos, and you know what I mean? Like it's just everything is a bummer. But you try, I feel like you just try to, you know, not cocoon yourself, but just surround yourself with things that can make you a little happy day to day, and do some fun with family. And oh, one sec.
Plans for Halloween. Also, how is the feel for Oktoberfest over there?
Oscar and Sapity, thank you guys so much for the super chats. I appreciate it. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, same here. I try to tune it all out as well. And I thought about it the other day. I was like, is this what like a midlife crisis feels like? Is that what this is? This weird, like, not really getting excited for a lot nowadays, just kind of going through the motions of work and driving the kid to school, and like, it's just, is that what a midlife crisis is? I don't know. Is a midlife crisis when you want to get an old CRT TV and plug your Nintendo 64 into it and build a little CRTV stand in your office, and you're super excited for that? Is that a midlife crisis? I don't know, maybe. Some men buy sports cars. I go to Home Depot and buy lumber to build a TV stand for a video game system that I played when I was 10 years old. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, man. Best of luck. Head up. Things are out of our control, right? So I kind of feel like the attitude of fuck it is typically is appropriate for most situations. But cheers, man. Maybe I'll post a little picture on Twitter and Instagram, or X and Instagram later, of my jalapeno margarita. But Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much. And then I got Sapity. Oscar says, for all, if you like games that mix psychology, horror, and ancient myth, check out Hellblade. Sinwa? Is that how you say that? Sinwa? I've only seen that written. Sinwa? Sinwa's Sacrifice and Sinwa's Saga, Hellblade 2. Okay, I've seen this on my Steam. They're on sale right now. Hellblade 2 is $18. And the first one, or the Sacrifice one, I guess that's the first one, is $25. So if you're interested in that, check it out. Yeah, I've seen these on Steam forever. and they've always kind of piqued my interest and looked really good. My problem is I have a hard time getting into single player games. I've bought, you know, I can look at my Steam list right now and just count how many single player games I've never finished. Shit, Jedi Survivor, Star Wars Outlaws, yeah. The Hogwarts game, the Guardians of the Galaxy game. I would say most single-player games that I own on Steam, I've never finished. Which is crazy. I know it's probably crazy for most people, but like, I feel like I have 9 hours in Hogwarts Legacy. I haven't played it since September of last year. So literally a year ago, I have not touched this game. When I first got this PC, I got this game and I was excited to play it, and then just fizzles out, you know. But that honestly, like, a lot of games will pique my interest, single player games, and I have ambitions to buy them and play them, but I kind of stop myself because I'm like, you know, I'll only play that for a few hours and I'll never touch it again. And that's just, I know that's a bummer, and I'm missing out on so many cool experiences, but I just have a really hard time sticking with single player games. But that's just me. Anyway, I appreciate that, Oscar, and if anybody wants to take up his recommendation and check it out, those games are on sale right now on Steam, which I don't know if that also means they're on sale on other platforms, but if you've always wanted to play these, then... Oh, wait! You can buy... Oh, the deluxe edition. Okay, so you can get both games, it looks like, for $25 right now. There's a deluxe edition on Steam, if I'm looking at this correctly. So, Sapity, thank you so much for the super chat as well. Sapity says, here's a little extra for tonight. Have something spicy. I always do. I'm a big fan of spice. Are any plans for Halloween? Also, how's the feel for Oktoberfest over there? Yeah, I always get... I'm a big fan of spicy foods. I love Thai food. But we're going to a Mexican restaurant that we love tonight. So I typically, I don't know. I bounce between a few different dishes. They have like a really good like carne asada burrito. They got really good tacos. I don't know. I love it, and they have really good spicy margaritas, which I always go to. But our plans for Halloween this year. My neighborhood does it big, Sapity. Like, I've never experienced Halloween this big in any other neighborhood I've ever lived in. We live kind of in a... So, it's a big neighborhood, but there's a lot of circles in the neighborhood that you can just walk around, like a big lap with a big lake in the middle. There's a lot of circles in the neighborhood like that. So when I say that my neighborhood does it big, this is what I mean. I would say like every other house, like, okay, some of my neighbors will grill hot dogs outside and give hot dogs to anybody that wants hot dogs. They literally have coolers full of hot dogs and a grill going. Like every other house is giving out Jell-O shots to adults. Like, it's not just fun for the kids, it's also fun for the grown-ups. People are giving away beers. There's kegs tapped on the driveways. Nobody is inside handing out candy. Nobody's like inside with their porch light on. Kids don't come up to doors. I mean, a few houses. But I would say 90% of the houses, everybody's sitting at the end of their driveway with their buckets of candy or their kegs of beer, their Jell-O shots or their hot dogs or whatever they're making. And they're just handing stuff out. And it's really, really cool. It's like a giant street party. And it's something out of a movie, man. Like, every Halloween, we've lived here for 6 years now in our house. We built our house in 2019. We built it, and the neighborhood has exploded, and Halloween is so much fun. It's so much fun. It's just a giant block party. I cannot over exaggerate how big my neighborhood does it. It's fun. It's cool, man. But yeah, for Oktoberfest, like, it's not really a big thing over here. We used to take part in it when we were without child. You know, me and my wife would go to the breweries a lot. A lot of local breweries that we like to go to will brew like an Oktoberfest brew around this time of the year, or maybe a pumpkin ale or something like that. But we always, me and my wife are big beer drinkers. We really like craft beer. We really like going to breweries and stuff like that. And we always go to, you know, some package stores or liquor stores and stuff and pick up 6-packs of any Oktoberfest beer that we see, whether it's local or widely distributed or you know, an import. We always like to, you know, get a bunch of 6-packs of Oktoberfest beer and have them for the season. They sell out pretty quick around here. I think a lot of people do the same. But that's why we always buy them early. Like, our fridge probably has like 6-packs in there of Oktoberfest beers from different breweries and stuff. And we haven't touched them yet just because it's still like 95 degrees outside, you know? And we're like, yeah, we can't drink an Oktoberfest when it's 95 degrees outside. So we're waiting for it to get a little cooler to crack them open. But yeah, we enjoy it for sure. Oh, motorcycle lessons. There you go. Be safe, man. Wear a helmet. Wear a helmet. Don't speed. Don't blow through red lights. Be very defensive. I've seen a lot of crazy shit. Be safe out there. Joshua says, I think part of why people are gravitating towards retro games is the simplicity of it. You boot up the game and you play. It's not like Marvel Rivals where there's 20 things that pop up on the menu. Yeah, I've always enjoyed simple games. The more complex, the more inventory management, the more crafting for what maybe it's my stupid brain, but the more I like just kind of shy away from games like that. I mean, I like a lot of games like that. Don't get me wrong. A lot of MMOs I absolutely love, but I'm a big simple gamer. You brought up things popping up on the menu and on the screen. So my kid likes to play Roblox, and we play it with her. You know, I have my old PC hooked up. I have my PC, and she plays on her tablet. So like, almost every single night before bed, the three of us, me, my daughter, my wife, we all basically have a LAN party almost every single night. Not now, not tonight. Oh no, she's not getting her tablet for a week. She was mean yesterday. We're very like lackadaisical and easygoing parents, and you know, there's not a lot of rules and stuff, but man, she was a terror yesterday and last night, and I don't know what got into her. So I did what I've never done. I took away her tablet for a week, and she threw a tantrum. Any parent out there will understand. You just, oh man. Yeah, so we're not going to be playing Roblox for a week. Anyway, hopefully today and tonight's better. But typically we have like a LAN party every single night. And it's fun. But Roblox, like, it's cool. But so there's really neat games on there that people took a lot of time to make. A lot of time and creativity and energy to make, right? Like yesterday, I went into a game where somebody created one for one creation of the Haunted Mansion from Disney World. You know what I did? I walked into the mansion. I went down the lines. I went into the room that rises. I rode the entirety of this ride just to see what this person created. And it was amazing. It was an amazing recreation of it, and I couldn't believe that somebody took the time to do this. And there's so many games like that where people take the time and you know, create something really interesting. On the flip side, my daughter's favorite games on Roblox are ones where somebody just threw up a bunch of blocks and said, you know, this is an obstacle course. Here, you got to buy the jetpack. You got to buy the bungee jumping cord. You got to buy the springboard. You got to buy the hopscotch. You got to buy the blah blah blah. Just every time you get to a different section of the obstacle course, it pops up and says, "Would you like to skip this? Are you having trouble? You can skip this for 5 Robux or whatever the fuck." And it's just like, these are the games that she likes to play. And I'm sitting back like, somebody put no effort into making this. They literally just have it pop up so kids will click, yes, I want to buy the jetpack for 10 Robux so I could just fly around this level that I'm never going to play again. You know, and and that's what opened my eyes to what this game is. Like, it's predatory and trying to steal money from children. And it's like 99% of the game she launches, I'm like, this is bullshit, stupid nonsense. But there's so much cool stuff on there, which is, I'm like, don't you want to play a game that somebody put a lot of time and effort into? Like, there's so much out. No, check out this game. You have to, you see how high you can jump, and every time every second the clock ticks, you jump a little higher and a little higher, or you can pay 20 Robux and you could jump as high as you want. Okay. All right. We will not be buying anything. So if these are the games you like, go for it. Anyway. Yeah, Josh, we've made the mistake of not restricting stuff too much. She can have an attitude, big time. And if you're listening to this in the future, kiddo, I love you so much, but you do. And maybe I'm too much of a pushover. And but we need to be a little more strict, for sure. And any parent out there will understand. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, we've gone way over 30 minutes, guys. Goodness, I lost track of time. Anyway. Yeah, she had a tantrum last night when I took away her tablet and I said no tablet for a week. You know, she's 7, and she probably can't quite control her emotions. You know, I don't know, but she had a tantrum, man. And I didn't yell, I didn't get mad. I talk to her like I talk to you guys right now. And I said, all right, no tablet for a week. And then you know what she did? She threw one of her stuffed animals across the room. Not really at me. Maybe she meant to throw it at me. She threw her stuffed animal. And it hit a glass that I had. That I got. One of my favorite glasses. Cups. Pint glasses that I had. It hit one of those on the counter. And I got it from Grand Teton National Park. It was a Grand Teton National Park pint glass. An anniversary trip me and my wife went on. And it knocked it over and it shattered it everywhere. I didn't yell. I just looked at her and I said, that makes me really sad, kiddo. That was a very special cup. And then her tantrum kind of disappeared. And she got into bed. And our bad night was over. And those nights are very rare. But man, if any parent out there, any parent will understand, right? Yeah. I was like, man. And then I was just bummed out, like picking up all this glass. Like, I know it's silly, but I know it's silly to be bummed out about something like that. You know, who cares? It's a cup. But I was like, it was from me and my wife's anniversary trip, and We went to Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Park, and we had a lot of fun. And these are the only kind of things I like to collect from places I go to, right? Like pint glasses, coffee mugs, things like that. And this special little thing that I had from a place on the other side of the country is now in pieces. But yeah. Anyway. George Heilman, thank you so much for the final super chat and channel support. Before I have to hop off here, George says, would you agree that as amazing as Apollo 13 in IMAX this year was, nothing replaces seeing it for the first time 30 years ago in the cinemas? I know I saw it in the theater. But I don't really have memories of seeing it. I would have been 9 years old. Is it a true 30-year anniversary? Release date. Let's see. So yeah, I would have been 9 years old when Apollo 13 came out. And I know I saw it in the theater. But I don't remember the first time that I saw it. It's kind of like Star Wars with me. I don't remember the first time I saw Star Wars. It's just always been a part of my life, right? But I have been obsessed with Apollo 13. I can quote that movie left and right. I've seen it. I've probably, like, no joke, seen Apollo 13 more than A New Hope. If I had to guess, I've seen Apollo 13 more than A New Hope. But yeah, I loved seeing it in IMAX. It was the first time I've seen it in the theater since it came out. It was a great experience. But George, like, that movie has just been such, that movie has just been such I don't know, just a focal point in my life. And I'm sure a lot of it has to do with my obsession with, the space program as a whole. But yeah, George, Apollo 13 has just been a lifelong movie obsession of mine. I love it. I love it so much. And no matter how many times I've seen it, the ending always chokes me up. The mission control goes crazy. Everybody just starts cheering. Gene Kranz sits down. Ed Harris, as Gene Kranz sits down, wipes his eye a little bit. The guy in the background, I don't know if you've ever noticed, George. Watch that scene again. The guy in the background kind of always bothers me. Like, I feel like he was an extra, and maybe he, I don't know, but in the background, right when Ed Harris kind of sits down and wipes his eye, there's a guy in the background who kind of looks at the camera and wipes his nose, and in my brain, I'm thinking that this extra was like, this is my moment. I'm going to sit down next to Ed Harris. Maybe everybody else was standing up cheering, and I feel like Ed Harris should have been the only one to sit down. That guy in the background has always bothered me because it feels like this is my moment to shine. I'm gonna sit down next to Ed Harris and do what Ed Harris is supposed to do, and wipe his nose and wipe his face and then look at the camera briefly and then stand up out of scene. I don't know. There's always little things in movies that kind of irk me. That is one thing that's kind of always irked me. That guy in the background. Watch it again. Maybe it won't irk you, but I always feel like he was just trying to get on camera. Yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, George. All right, guys, I got to get going. We've almost been going for an hour. It is 11:18. Yeah, 11:18. So I got about 3 hours until I got to go pick up the kid from school. And then, so yeah, I'm just going to do a bunch of stuff around the house right now. And, maybe take a little 30-minute nap. But yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out. This was fun. I don't know when the next time I stream will be, but hopefully you'll be able to tune in. All right. Enjoy the rest of your morning, your afternoon, your evening, wherever you are on planet Earth. Thanks to everybody who sent over a little super chat love this morning. I'll put that towards dinner tonight for me and the family. and a couple margaritas. So, all right. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys when I see you. All right, later.